With Zero Hype Guy Smith, another of the 10 most influential people in Central Illinois wrestling.
The last couple of years, you've mainly been a tag team wrestler, although you're outside of. Well, I guess you still mainly do singles competition. It's been watched that you've been doing all the tag team.
Yeah, in the Midwest, I've done a lot of tag team, and out and around, I still do all singles.
We'll focus on tag team in the Midwest. You did win Surrey Wrestling Revival Tag Team of the Year Award.
Great honor.
When you did that speech, I cringed when you said, "We beat all the tag teams," and you said, "We beat the same club," and then you beat the same club, and then you beat the same club, and I go, "Oh, it is a golden question that if the Hooligans came out with a statement. They posted a statement on their Facebook or Twitter saying Ed Tuning Floyd's real talent. And they kind of have a little bit of a point. Ed Tuning, look at the current NBS top 5. Ed Tuning is at the bottom, number 5, and the 4 teams ahead of you, you've never had a match with yet. Interestingly enough, you have wrestled some members of a couple of the teams, but they were in configurations that were unique to the Midwest. So
all I can say about that is thoroughly, entirely, and only a promoter issue. You know, me and Spencer, we can't show up at a show and decide, you know, and say, hey, tonight we're wrestling the Hooligans. We can't show up at a show and say, hey, I'm wrestling tonight, give us Zero Gravity. I mean, the hooligans can say what they want. I've never met a hooligan. You know, I mean, anybody can say anything they want. We're here to be booked. We're here to wrestle. You know, I mean,
did you go to another promotion to try and get a match with the Hooligans or Zero Gravity or
I shopped Attitude out, and nobody wanted to bring us. I mean, I'll say that, you know, the reason...
fuck this guy.
I'll go ahead and say that the reason I created Attitude Inc. was because I saw a shortage of tag teams that were actual tag teams. And I got Mike Shard and Spencer Powers both, so that if somebody contacted me for a booking and Mike Shard was unavailable, I'd bring Spencer. And if Spencer was unavailable, I'd bring Mike Shard, and you know, that's why it was a 3-man tag team, is so that we could work it, you know, no matter what. And
Freebirds.
Yeah, you know, and nobody was interested, and that's I was not
surprising.
You know.
BWE, Dreamwave, UWC, Springlink, IWA Limited, Dreamwave. You need a tag team. He can help you with that. There's tag, every promotion has a tag time. I mean,
that was my reasoning, but you know, I mean, every promotion also has a full roster already. You know, so it is what it is, and I've had a lot of fun in the tag team. You know, I don't regret doing it, and I have no hard feelings for anybody who's never booked us. I'm just saying, you know, if the Hooligans want to say we're avoiding, we don't book ourselves. You know.
How would you fare in a match against, we'll say, start with Zero Gravity?
How do you mean?
How would you fare in a match?
With Attitude Inc. win or lose?
Yeah, something like that.
Attitude Inc. We can hold our own against anybody that comes out. I mean, me and Spencer are both very accomplished, and we come to play no matter what. So.
Well, Consecutive Fate has arrived in the Midwest, returned to the Midwest, so hopefully. And I advocate, they should have put you in a match against Consecutive Fate, Simon Comfort, and McCrew on a 4-way, but you got a new tag team.
Yeah.
One of the biggest matchups that I just can't let go, 6 years after the fact, going on 7. Guy Smith versus the Mississippi Madman. Isn't it about time we have that one-on-one match to resolve the issue that was never resolved, and I can't, to this day, understand why, and that it was during the time of transition between promoters. Role of Jeremy, after he had that first match against Madman, Jeremy and Jason Duvall got into a fight after that match, and Jeremy was gone from New Midwest like the month after. The new promoters came in and said, no, we can't give the Mississippi Madman the rematch against Geisman.
That was, you know, the promoters again.
We had the tag matches.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I faced Madman in tag matches. And you know, 6 years later, I think you're the only one still holding on to this, looking for this grudge match. You know,
it would be a big draw, wouldn't it?
I like working the Madman. I think the Madman versus anybody is a big draw. I don't know that currently, you know, Guy Smith versus the Madman to resolve, you know, our issue would be. I don't know that would be any more of a draw than anybody else versus the Madman. He's a big draw always. So.
Anybody that you'd like to have a match with that you've never had the chance?
That I've never had the chance.
And not, let's say, WWE guys, but this region.
I've never gotten to have a real good. I've never gotten to have a real good match with Blake Steele at the level he's at now, at the level I'm at now.
And that New Breed?
We had one match at New Breed, and
I was there for that.
I was not at my top in that match. I can admit that. You know, I was dealing with some frustrations and some, you know, things going on in my head at that time. So I was not in the right place to make the most out of that match. It was a good match. I was happy with the match. But I would really like to get a chance to work Blake head on. You know, me at this level, him at this level, and do the work there.
Anybody else? They in Dreamway, they in like WWE or IWA Unlimited. I don't think you've ever had a real one-on-one match against Ryan Phoenix. I know you had a brief one.
That I was just about to say, Ryan Phoenix, and that's the same deal. I had one match, maybe. I had one match in New Midwest against Ryan Phoenix, maybe one at NGW where I might have been involved, you know, tag match with him at NGW or something. Oh, we had a tag match in New Midwest too. But yeah, I've never gotten to go head on with Ryan Phoenix with me at my top and him at, you know, at his top, and that would be I would enjoy that match.
Suggest a couple other names.
Okay.
Brandon Espinoza. You've never wrestled him, have you?
I've wrestled us tag matches.
Tag matches, but not one-on-one.
Not a one-on-one.
Matt Cage.
No, I've never gotten to wrestle Matt Cage. I would wrestle. I mean, yeah, you know, I think me and Matt Cage would have a great match. Our styles are a little. I've never seen him as like a babyface.
Usually is.
So yeah, you know what I mean. So like for me to be at my best, I need to be a bad guy, and for him to be at his best, you know, he'd need to be a bad guy. So that's why I've never really thought.
Unless you both just truly hated each other, it wouldn't matter who the good guy was.
True. I like Matt Cal. I hate Matt.
Any goals for 2012? Do you want to make your way up to Dreamway or down to IWA Unlimited, which are the two top promotions downstate right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get around. You know, I would always like to do new things. I think that anywhere I go, I can and will make an impact. haven't made either of those places a specific goal of mine because they've got so much going on.
Yeah.
They've got their thing, they've got their full rosters, they've got their full style going, you know, and not that I couldn't jump in there and make an impact, but I don't need to go up and be another face in the crowd. Yeah. And maybe that makes me sound arrogant. It's really the opposite of that. You know, I'm not saying I'm too big to go in there and be one of them guys. That's not what I mean.
You're worried about fitting in.
I'm just saying they don't need guys now. Neither of those places need guys now. And you know, I guess maybe my goal would be to become a commodity, more so than to get on the Dreamwave or get on the IWA Limited or whatever. You know, so.
I haven't touched on this yet. This year, last year, you had the Arkansas tour. Tell us how that went and your experiences with that.
The Arkansas tour was amazing. The level of professionalism in Arkansas is different than it is here. It is, I mean, a step up. Well, and you know, I say that at NEW, the level of professionalism is a step up. I did work with ASWF. We would, and just to give anybody who doesn't know, 12 months in a row, or 12 weeks in a row, we went down to Arkansas. Friday night, we would work TV taping for New Experience Wrestling. We would stay overnight, and then the next morning, we would drive, on Saturday, we would drive to Tuckerman, Arkansas, and wrestle in Arkansas. All-Star Wrestling
Federation.
ASWF, the All-Star Wrestling Federation. And it's really two different ends of the spectrum. You know, in AEW was all professional, you know, everybody there was a good wrestler. I mean, it was really a step, it was a step up from anything I've really experienced before. And that was an awesome experience to be able to go down there and do that. Plus I was able to make an impact and get some really good opportunities to learn to work a TV match, to, you know, learn how to put together and work a different style, because it is a different style than what I normally wrestle those guys. That was awesome. Then ASWF was, I won't say it was like at the complete opposite end of the spectrum, but it was at the complete opposite end of the spectrum, where there was still a level of professionalism that I appreciated, in that everybody there wore gear. I would say that everybody there had a little bit more solid of a foundation than in Central Illinois.
Yeah.
And certainly there was, and I think the main difference is that Arkansas has a lot more veterans in the mix. You know, guys who may not necessarily have been wrestling Jerry Lawler, you know, but guys who were around during that time when wrestling was serious business for them. And so that's kind of bled over more so than it is in Central Illinois. I mean, in Central Illinois, there's so many guys that it's a hobby and that approach it like wrestling owes them something, when really we're all lucky to be a part of this, you know. But so many guys that, you know, won't go buy real gear, don't go buy real gear, or they go and buy gear thinking that they're buying real gear.
Or they buy a ring and open a Fed.
Yeah, you know, yeah, or they buy a ring and open the Fed without ever having any formal training, you know, and it's just...
Liking this town.
I'm not gonna...
Don't touch it. I just felt like expressing frustration because I took in one of those last night.
Yeah. But it's just a different level of professionalism and a different attitude overall, where everybody, almost, almost everybody that I encountered in Arkansas at least has a little bit more respect for the business.
You've made a nomination for the MBS MBS Central Illinois Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Make the closing argument for inducting the Don K. Morales.
The closing argument for inducting Don K. Morales is that he ran New Breed for almost as long as New Midwest has been running.
6 years.
6 years. Okay, and New Midwest has been running
12.
New Midwest has been running almost 12, but you can't really count those first two. At least I don't. You know, the theater days, and you know, we were all still.
Well, Stockyard had its moments.
Stockyard had its moments, but I still don't count those.
Okay.
Regardless, all right. I mean, even taking 6 years. So Don K. Morales ran New Breed for 6 years, and almost from the start, I mean, it was something that was kind of viewed on the level of New Midwest. You know, I mean, we were. We were obviously too far apart to ever be direct competition, but, you know, the people in the know started right away going, oh, who's going to be better? He brought a lot of guys into the business that would not have gotten a chance to be in the business. I mean, he built New Breed from the ground up, and it's become what it's become. And if we're going to go beyond, you know, if we want to go, the closing argument for Don K. Morales in my eyes only needs to be the opportunities that he's opened for other guys, you know. And I mean, that's aside from the fact that, you know, the only guys that work for the WWE from this area got there because of him, you know.
Future Dominic Ruddock being one of them.
Yeah, and Chad Talley, or what do they call him on
Chad Talley. Chad Talley's still around here.
That's what I said. I said Shad.
Oh, okay.
I said Shad.
They rhyme.
What's his name? What's his name?
Justin King.
Justin King.
He's going by his real name, or on Facebook, Black Ref.
There you go, Black Ref. So, you know, I think that alone. But he's given a lot of shots to a lot of guys probably didn't deserve shots. And he's dragged some guys to shots that needed to take that shot, and he dragged them, you know, almost kicking and screaming, dragged them across country to take a shot and to learn something.
You've been the previous winner of the Respect Award. You've also won the Wrestler of the Year, but I think the Wrestler of the Year is not as complicated to figure out as the Respect Award. Who would you put on the ballot for the MBS Respect Award this year? You'd probably put yourself on the ballot, but who else would you put on the ballot?
Okay, so the Respect Award goes to guys who are most respected throughout
in the locker room, throughout the area, for that matter, whether they're a good guy or a bad guy.
Names that I would say, Bobby Houston. I've never heard anything but good things, you know, anything but respectful things said about Bobby Houston. That's a tough one. Because there are guys that I respect, you know what I mean, that I don't know how they're viewed overall. I have a lot of respect for, and this is funny, two guys that I would say I have a lot of respect for are on opposite end of the spectrums. Whereas I would say and respect both Donovan Kane and Christian Rose. And, you know, I'm not going to be...
I don't know if they're opposite ends of the spectrum because they've been kind of in among the top 5 of Central Illinois for quite a while.
Well, what I mean is that it seems like there's a Christian Rose camp and there's Donovan Kane camp. You know, so it's kind of split. And I don't know, I may be completely wrong. Nobody may have any respect for either of them, but I do. So.
Your top 3 most influential in Central Illinois.
In Central Illinois, my top 3. I would have to say
it's a tough one.
Don Cato Morales.
No, he's moved away now.
Even
Vegas.
Though he's moving. Tripsy. Alex Larson.
Alex Larson.
Alex
Yes,
Larson.
we haven't heard from him. He's left the business.
Vanished.
He's retired and moved on with life, I think.
Yeah.
It's sad that GW's no more.
And I would like to say Rip Mystic and Tom Larson as one inch, because they were the real guiding force for New Midwest in the beginning.
All right, Guy Smith.
All right.
We got in.
Crime fighter.
We managed to keep it under an hour this time, although it's about a little more than about 45 minutes. So
I can talk for another 15 if you need it.
Oh, but we got a show to do, so I'm gonna cut it short this time and probably put a little wrestling action for the last part of this program. But Guy Smith, thank you for coming in.
No, thank you for having me, and I'd like to thank everybody for watching. So,
Guy Smith, another of the top 10 most influential people in Central Illinois wrestling. This is the Man Conservative Crime Fighter. For the Nosebleed Seats, we'll see you next time.
Well, this Saturday, Guy Smith, along with partner Spencer Powers, will be defending the New Midwest Tag Team titles in an Ace of Spades gauntlet match against Southern Comfort, the Dudesons, and a mystery team. With 3 of New Midwest's major teams not available for this match, who could the mystery team be? Could it be Zero Gravity? Could it be the Hooligans, the Submission Squad, the Money-Making Jam Boys, Dead Sexy, the Elitism, or a new never-teamed combination? You'll find out this Saturday, where 2 teams start, then a new team replaces a defeated team in this 3-fall matchup. And in singles action this Saturday, former New Midwest heavyweight champ Ryan Phoenix takes on the undefeated Michael Flannery. Flannery is awaiting his heavyweight title match after winning Brawltoberfest, while Phoenix wants to make a loud and clear statement after the Sovereign cost him his title to Tyler Pregel. Also at Ace of Spades, the Mississippi Madman promises to call Benz to the ring to find out who forced him to put his career on the line at November Rain, while the new NMW heavyweight champion, Tyler Pregel, makes his first championship defense against an unnamed opponent. It all happens this Saturday at New Midwest Wrestling's Ace of Spades 2012, Saturday, March the 10th, 7 p.m. bell time at Lamphere High School, 1300 North 11th Street in Springfield, Illinois. For ticket information, go to newmidwest.com or facebook.com/the New Midwest Wrestling page. We close it out this week with a music video from New Midwest Wrestling's Broken Promises.
Field trip, people. This is a war!
Promise is broken.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart.
Can't have gotten very far. Come on.
I shot him 6 times.
Yeah.
This guy, this man, he's not human.
Wednesday nights. Catch Central Illinois' only local pro wrestling program, The Nosebleed Seats, with news and information, interviews with the biggest movers and shakers on the local indie scene, and action featuring the rising stars of local independent wrestling. The Nosebleed Seats, now every Wednesday on Urbana Public TV Channel 6 at 10 p.m. Don't miss it!